So today we'll discuss one of the important topic in NEET syllabus, that is cellular respiration. And cellular respiration, actually respiration, and why we should know about respiration, because it's a cellular respiration. Whatever energy, that is energy currency, that is ATP molecules are produced via the this cellular respiration pathway, and ATP is the major energy source in our living system. So let's talk about the glycolysis pathway of some respiratory pathways. Respiration can be divided into two. One types. One is aerobic respiration, another is the anaerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration, aerobic respiration, and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. What do you mean by aerobic respiration? If the terminal electron acceptor in aerobic respiration, the if the terminal electron acceptor is O2, then we call it as aerobic respiration. And if the terminal electron acceptor other than O2, that is called anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration if the terminal electron acceptor anaerobic respiration if the terminal electron acceptor is other than O2, then we call it as anaerobic respiration. Right? So terminal electron acceptor means during the electron transport chain, if the terminal electron acceptor is O2, actually during electron transport chain, the terminal electron is taken up O2 and it produces metabolic H2O. Right? In aerobic respiration, we can divide it into three phases, that is glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain. Right? So now let's talk about glycolysis. Glycolysis is first start with a glucose. Glucose is a aldohexose, and glycolysis glucose molecules is converted into 3 carbon pyruvate, right? So glucose molecule is converted into pyruvate. So first step of glycolysis is glucose to glucose 6 phosphate. Now, first step of glycolysis is glucose. Glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose is an aldohexose. So, glucose is an aldohexose. Now, we know that the naming of the enzymes, if the ATP to ADP conversion or ADP to ATP conversion, all the enzyme conversion occurs, the step or of the enzyme should add the kinase. Kinase is added in the suffix of the enzyme. Here is the glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. So enzyme ATP to ADP conversion occurs, then it's called hexokinase. Right? Now glucose 6-phosphate, now it's converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Now phosphate is added in the 6 carbon position, so that's why it's called glucose 6-phosphate. Enzyme glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. Glucose and fructose all are, glucose is aldohexose and fructose is ketohexose. So glucose and fructose all are the isomer of each other, right? So that's why the enzyme glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate conversion enzyme is phosphoglucoisomerase. Enzyme is phosphoglucoisomerase PGI, phosphoglucoisomerase, phosphoglucoisomerase or PGI. Now fructose 6-phosphate then converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This step also requires energy, that is ATP investment occur here. ATP to ADP conversion also occurs here. ATP to ADP conversion also takes place, and it converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Right? The enzyme is phosphofructokinase. So because here also ATP to ADP reaction occurs, so enzyme name added kinase always added. So naming of the enzyme, we'll see that in later. Now here is that up to that fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, this step is known as the regulatory step of glycolysis. Regulatory step or rate limiting step or key step of glycolysis, because this step, this is one of irreversible step, never occurs in other any metabolic pathways. Rest of the all other reaction occurs in the others metabolic pathway. It is common with other metabolic pathway. The fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is unique for glycolysis. That's why this pathway is called as step regulate rate limiting step or key step for glycolysis. Right? Now here we in glycolysis is step up to that to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is called preparatory phase of glycolysis. Preparatory phase or energy investment phase. So glycolysis we divided the phases of glycolysis we can divide into 2 phases, that is preparatory phase. So phases of glycolysis. One is called preparatory phase, and second step is called payoff phase. Payoff phase. Payoff phase where energy preparatory phase, during that phase energy investment occurs, and during payoff phase the energy is produced. That means ATP and NADH will produce in that step, right? Now next we'll see that the naming of the enzyme. So how will nomenclature of the enzyme, nomenclature of glycolytic enzyme? First, so nomenclature of glycolytic enzyme. First is kinase. If any reaction, if any biochemical reaction, there is a conversion of ATP to ADP, ATP to ADP conversion, ATP to ADP, or ADP to ATP, ATP to ADP, or ADP to ATP. ADP to ATP, then the enzyme name will be added as a kinase. In suffix will be kinase will be added. Kinase in suffix it will be added. Now in isomeric, if isomeric reaction occurs, then isomerase will be added. If in dehydrogenation, that is reduction on occurs, then it's dehydrogenase enzyme will be added. And another is that there is a, the phosphate change its position. Phosphate, if any reaction, phosphate change its position, then mutase in suffix of the enzyme name, in the suffix of the enzyme name, the suffix of the enzyme name, mutase will be added. Mutase will be added. Suffix of the enzyme name, mutase will be added. We will see that. Now, first see here. So, glucose to glucose 6-phosphate is in the presence of hexokinase. Hexokinase, also known as, it's a type, it's hexokinase is a, it's have different isoenzyme forms are there. Hexokinase 1, hexokinase 2, hexokinase 3, hexokinase 4, and hexokinase 4 is also known as glucokinase. And glucokinase enzyme, glucokinase have high Km value and compared to hexokinase. Glucokinase have higher Km value than hexokinase. Glucokinase have higher Km value than hexokinase, right? Now coming to the next step, this first step. So if, what we have seen, the first step is the regulatory step. First step is the irreversible step, not regulatory step. It's an irreversible step, unidirectional reaction. Second step, that is glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, is unidirectional reaction. Glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate, it's a bidirectional reaction. Enzyme is phosphoglucoisomerase. Fructose 6-phosphate, it's also contains 6-carbon sugar, so converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, now it's also contain 6-carbon. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate also contains 6-carbon. Now this 6-carbon sugar will split into 3-carbon glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and dihydroxyacetone phosphate, or DHF. So dihydroxyacetone phosphate, it also contains 3-carbon, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate also 3-carbon. Now glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is now, from here you can see that glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate are isomer of each other. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate are isomer of each other. So enzyme is triose phosphate isomerase. This conversion enzyme is required, triose phosphate isomerase. So next step, there this step also will be common here, right? So that's why from this step and from here dihydroxyacetone phosphate it will be common. Now see that the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate converted to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Now here see that NAD is converted to NADH, right? NAD converted into NADH. So NAD converted into NADH. So this is a dehydrogenation. This enzyme is dehydrogenation reaction. So enzyme is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, right? Now here see that glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Here see that these 1, 2, 3. The phosphate is in presence in the 3 prime. The phosphate is present in the 3 carbon, third carbon, right? Phosphate. That's why it's a glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Now here now another phosphate will be added. Now it's from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate. Here here ATP to ADP conversion occurs. Here ADP to ATP, that is pay of phase. Pay of phase, and this step is called substrate level phosphorylation. You have to here be careful. Substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation, where substrate acts as donor of the phosphate group. Phosphate. If the substrate acts as a donor of the phosphate, then the step is called substrate level phosphorylation. And here, and another is that oxidative phosphorylation, where the phosphorylation say present not substrate acts as a donor of the phosphate. Here is a substrate level phosphorylation. A substrate acts as a donor of the phosphate group. Now this step is ADP to ATP conversion occurs, and enzyme is phosphoglucokinase. Phosphoglycerate kinase, right? Say substrate level phosphorylation, phosphoglycerate kinase. Now 3-phosphoglycerate to 2-phosphoglycerate, 3-phosphoglycerate to 2-phosphoglycerate. Here see that phosphate is changing position. Now, before we have seen that mutase enzyme from 3 carbon position, the phosphate is changing into 2 carbon position. If the phosphate change its position, the name of the enzyme is mutase added. So phosphoglycerate, it will be phosphoglycerate mutase, the name of the enzyme. Now 2-phosphoglycerate converted into 2-phosphoenol pyruvate. Here, say enzyme is enolase. Now 2-phosphoenol pyruvate converted into pyruvate. Pyruvate is the end product of glycolysis. So this step is from here, from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to pyruvate. This step is called payoff phase of glycolysis, and this glucose to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This step is called preparatory phase of glycolysis, right? Now we'll see the ATP calculation of the net gain or energy gain of the glycolysis. Another is that you have to also be careful that this also reaction occurring twice. This reaction occurring twice, because from dihydroxyacetone phosphate will also from 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, then 3-phosphoglycerate, from 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate. Here will be also pyruvate will be produced, right? So here also pyruvate will be produced. So that's why it's a 2 molecule of pyruvate. From glycerol triphosphate, we have produced 1 molecule of pyruvate. From dihydroxyacetone phosphate, we have produced 1 molecule of pyruvate. That's why it's a 2 molecule of pyruvate will be produced after glycolysis, end of the glycolysis, right? Now, we'll see that another is the substrate level phosphorylation. So first substrate level phosphorylation. So what's the careful area? What you have to remember that first of all is substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation step one, substrate level phosphorylation, another substrate level phosphorylation here occurs 2-phosphenol pyruvate to pyruvate conversion. This also a substrate level phosphorylation. So I will see that substrate level phosphorylation, two steps are there for substrate level phosphorylation. So substrate level phosphorylation, two steps. Substrate level phosphorylation as two step, and energy gain of energy or ATP production step, or ATP produce. Two steps are there, two steps. So total, one is here ADP to ATP conversion, another is the ADP to ATP conversion. These two step energy ATP will produce. So as the reaction occurring twice, so it will be 2 into 2. So total will be 4 ATP. 4 ATP will produce, right? Now, ATP used. How many ATP used during the action? It's a 2 ATP already used. See that here. This reaction ATP is used. ATP to ADP conversion here. Also ATP to ADP conversion. So two steps are there where ATP to ADP conversion used. Now, from NADH after electron transport chain will get from NADH after electron transport chain will get 2.5 molecules of ATP. From one molecule of NADH will get 1 molecule of NADH, 1 molecule of NADH produce 2.5 ATP. So here how many NADH will produce? This step here 2 NADH is there, right? So 2 NADH, 2 molecules of NADH produce 5 molecules of ATP. So total ATP produce it will be 4 plus 5, that is 9. 4 plus 5, 4 ATP already produced, and from here total is 9. Now net gain, if we ask the net gain of ATP, so if we consider net gain of ATP, net ATP gain will be, because already we have utilized 2, so 9 minus 2, it will be 7 molecules for modern calculation. If we consider NADH equal to 3 ATP, then it will come 8 molecules of ATP of net gain. So summary of the glycolysis. Another is some inhibitors of glycolysis are there which inhibit the steps of glycolysis, like examples of, we'll see that in the next slide. some inhibitors are there which inhibit the steps of glycolysis. So inhibitors are like hexokinase. Enzyme hexokinase is inhibited by glucose 6-phosphate. Hexokinase is inhibited by glucose 6. For most of the product, basically glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate. The product actually acts as an inhibitor. So hexokinase inhibitor is glucose 6-phosphate. And phosphofructokinase inhibitor is citrate and ATP acts as an inhibitor of phosphofructokinase, right? So pyruvate kinase in the ATP and acetyl-CoA acts as inhibitors. ATP and acetyl-CoA acts as a inhibitors of pyruvate kinase enzyme. Now another part, that key step or key regulatory step of glycolysis was that part, the fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, that is phosphofructokinase. You must have to remember phosphofructokinase. Another is that the here also the inhibitor of phosphogluco in case of substrate level phosphorylation, some inhibitors are there which inhibit substrate level phosphorylation. Like in case of arsenate, arsenate inhibits substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation from 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate is inhibited by arsenate. Arsenate inhibit arsenate inhibit ARSENAT arsenate inhibit 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate conversion. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate sub 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate. Glycerate. This step is inhibited by arsenate. Arsenate inhibit 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate. Now, so summary of the glycolysis. So how many unidirectional reactions present in glycolysis? How many unidirectional reaction present in glycolysis? This will be 3 unidirectional steps are there in glycolysis, right? 3 unidirectional steps are there in glycolysis. How many substrate level phosphorylation reaction is there? 2 substrate level phosphorylation there. 2 substrate level phosphorylation present, right? Where the substrate acts as a donor of the phosphate. In the last step, phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate conversion and 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate conversion where substrate level phosphorylation occurs. How many ATP net gain? We have seen the total. If we consider as a old concept, that's NADH considered as a 3 ATP. So according to old concept, it will be 8 ATP, and modern concept will be 7 ATP molecules, right? So thank you.